I've spent over $25,000 in the last 30 days generating leads from Google Ads for both non-QM and traditional mortgage brokers. If you're looking to build and launch your own ad campaigns that actually convert and result in deals, you're going to love this video, because in this video, I'm going to break down the exact strategy I use to generate high quality mortgage leads that actually convert. I'll walk you through the key components of a campaign from setup to troubleshooting so you can launch your own campaign in minutes. So whether you're just getting started or looking to improve your current results, this video will give you a clear, high-level blueprint that you can follow. All right, so the 2025 Google Ad strategy for private lenders and mortgage brokers. So this is what we use to deliver leads that actually close, and you can just follow it in order to do it on your own as well. So as you can see here, from May 14th to June 12th, we've spent about 25 grand on ads to generate leads in multiple niches. And this is just on Google, by the way. It's not including any other of our platforms. Okay. And then what you'll see is this will work for the both non-QM and QM side. So DSCR, bridge, short-term rental, long-term rental, hard money, first-time home buyer, veteran, USDA. It doesn't matter. It's gonna work. Okay. And so what you'll get from this video is a simple strategy that you can take to build your own campaign, and will help you learn how to think and solve future problems that will come up inevitably. Okay. And so here are the quick traits you're going to need for success running Google Ads. You need to understand the psychology of your prospects. This is important because you need to know how to influence them to take action. Okay. And that's going to be easy for you because you've been speaking with them every single day. Okay. So you understand what motivates them, what questions they have, and what's most important to them. That way you can put that in your ads, your headlines, your website, your landing page, and it'll just help with the conversions tremendously. The next thing is you need to understand how to diagnose and solve problems that come up. So you need to understand the root cause of issues that are coming up and how to solve it. So that's what we'll do at the end in the troubleshooting and throughout the video. And then also experience, but that just comes with time, right? And following people like me, it's going to help you get that experience. Okay. And so the next thing we're going to do is just zoom out really quickly and just show you our flywheel for success, how we actually close deals. And it just comes from this process right here. So the first is the Google ads. So we're going to want to get the right traffic by optimizing keywords and ads to get the right clicks. Not all clicks are the same. We want the right clicks, and then we take them to a landing page. And in that landing page, what we're going to do is convert the traffic into leads, right? We're going to pre-qualify them, and if they're good, they're going to become a lead. And then here is where the follow-up comes into play. We're going to contact them, and then with our tracking, we're going to see where the good quality leads that lead to closed deals and applications are coming from. Once we get that data, we double down on that and we turn off the ones that are producing crap results. So we're not just getting a bunch of leads that are going nowhere, right? And that's how everything comes into play in this flywheel. So it's going to go right back to and then from here, what we're going to be able to do is adjust our Google ads and get better results, right? It's a circle and things will get better over time. So what you're first going to want to do is plan your build. And the first thing you're going to want to do is pick the right keywords. So keywords are the phrases your prospects are searching on Google that you want your ads to show up for. So in this case right here, someone searched up fix and flip lenders. And what you'll see right here are these people and brokers that are showing up for fix and flip loans. And as you can see right here. So a keyword is basically what search phrases you want to target. Okay. And then in order to pick those keywords, what I use and I recommend is the Google Keyword Planner. And this is it right here. You can navigate it by going through Tools, Keyword Planner, and discover new keywords on your Google Ads. Okay. And so what it'll allow you to do is search up a relevant phrase like private money loan for real estate in this case right here, and you'll get a load of relevant search phrases that people are actually searching up so that you can target them. Yeah, so it's very important when you're researching your keywords to pick high intent keywords. So keywords that you think that if someone searches up, it shows that they have they're serious about converting and they're serious about getting a loan. So if someone search up private money lenders, obviously they're looking for a lender, they have high intent. Okay, as opposed to if someone search up how does a private money loan work, that's not high intent, they're still in research mode, right? And on top of that, so what you'll see right here is I got 77 additional keywords, and right here it'll show you the average monthly searches, so how many people are searching it on a monthly basis. And then you can get a gauge of the competition, so competition as in other competitors bidding on those keywords. And I wouldn't be too afraid of the high or the medium competition, because if it's highly competitive, it's competitive for a reason. It's because people are actually converting them into deals. As long as we can get a piece of that pie and make things profitable, there's no concern. And then what you'll see right here is the range and the bid range, to show up on the first page right here, right? So what you'll see, there's a low range and a high range. We generally are like towards the middle, the higher end of the middle, in order to get our leads coming in the door. And so once you gather those keywords, it'll be important for you to group them by theme. That's very important because each ad group slash theme is going to have their own landing page, their own ads, their own copywriting, and their own headlines. Okay. That just makes it easier for leads and clicks to convert, right? So let's say, for example, someone searching up private lenders in New York. You want your ad right here to say private lenders in New York. And so that's what we're optimizing for. And that's why it's important to group them by theme. This case, it's going to be by location. In this case, it's just going to be private money lender. In this case, it's going to be hard money lender, right? And in this case, it's going to be commercial copywriting, right? So each of these different themes is going to have their own sort of copywriting and writing and words and phrases that are actually going to influence people to buy because it's relevant to them. Okay. And so let's move on to the keyword match types. So for Google Ads, um, each keyword is going to have their own match type, right? And your match type tells Google how closely someone's search needs to match your keyword for your ads to show. Right. So let's just look at an example right here. So there's exact, phrase, and broad match. So if someone's in this case right here, exact will come in these brackets, phrase will be quotations, and broad match will be nothing. Okay. And exact match are searches that are the same meaning as your keyword. So if someone search up running shoes and you're looking for exact match, you'll show up for people that are also searching running shoes or sneakers, right? So really close to running shoes, as opposed to phrase match, where if someone searches running shoes, you'll show up for searches that include the meaning of that keyword. So men's running shoes or best shoes for running. Okay. And broad match is going to be the broadest, obviously, and you're going to get searches that relate to your keyword, right? So if you're searching running shoes, you might show up for socks for running or tennis shoes for men, right? So it's going to be very broad. We like to stay away from broad match and just focus on phrase match and exact match. Oh, this was a mistake. I meant to say phrase match. So we use phrase match and exact match keywords. Okay, so what you'll see right here, here's an example of the phrase match keywords that we did earlier, and here's the exact match version, right? So it's going to be in brackets. This is going to be in quotations. Again, please don't let this confuse you. I meant to say phrase match. Okay. And here is the general campaign structure that we're going to use and follow in order to get to our conversions, right? So we're going to have a campaign. In this case, let's name it private money campaign, right? Doesn't really matter. And then you're going to, for each campaign, you're going to have different ad groups, right? Think of it like the theme. So location theme, private money lender theme, hard money lender theme, commercial lender theme. Okay. And then for each of these ad groups, they're going to have their own keywords and their own websites and their own ads. Does that make sense? Okay. So everything's going to be super tight so that, everything's congruent, everything's organized, and you can actually influence people to take action because you understand what they're searching and what they want. So for the bidding strategy, that's basically going to be how you show up in the auction to show up for different search keywords because it's an auction system. Whoever pays the most is going to show up essentially. Okay. And so we use maximize clicks in order to launch our campaigns for new clients and new campaigns. Okay. And so our bid, and we also have a maximum bid limit that we have. Okay. And so it'll be towards the middle range, the average, or towards the higher end of the average of the top of page bid, high and low. Okay. And so that's what we do because we want to get as much data as possible. You know, Google might tell you that it's okay to start off with, max conversions, but that is extremely aggressive starting out because there is no data in your account. You know, in order for that to perform well, you need to have data and fed Google information on who converts, what type of person converts. Otherwise, you're going to be shooting at the dark and paying excessive amounts for clicks that might or might not convert. And that's why we start off with max clicks. And then afterwards, once we have enough data in our account of conversions, we can move on to, max conversions. Okay. But there's no rush, right? So maximize clicks is going to automate bids to maximize website traffic within your budget. So you have a lot more control. Okay. It's great for increasing site visits without exceeding your budget limits. So the next thing you want to do is uncheck the networks, right? So Google Search Partners Network and Google Display Network, you're going to want to uncheck that. We only want Google search traffic. This is going to bring you a lot of low quality clicks that really don't amount to anything for the most part. Okay, so you're going to turn them both off. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is target, the right location. If you have different states, you can target them, followed by the language, English, and then click a few of the audience segments that you think are relevant. Right. So depending on what you're selling, you could click on mortgage refinancing, credit and lending, home purchase loans, whatever you think might be relevant. And then afterwards, what you can do is pause them if you see that it's not working. Right. And then I wouldn't stress myself too much over this. Okay. And then the next thing you want to do is turn off broad match keywords. It's just going to bring a lot of like unrelated traffic and a waste of your money for most people. So I would stay away from that. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is turn off the automatically creative assets just so we have the most control over everything. Okay. And then the next thing you want to do is actually create your ad. So, like I said, each of your ads are going to be segmented by themes in your ad groups, and they're each going to have their own ads. So, what you'll see right here is you'll be able to have your own headlines for each one, your own descriptions, and your own landing pages in order to have relevant copywriting that's talking to the right person, right? So, if someone's searching up property, hard money commercial lending, your headlines are going to be things like top commercial lenders or hard money lenders for commercial property, things of that nature. Highly relevant and highly specific. That's going to be on your landing page. That's going to be just so that you have the message match, and that helps a lot in order to make people think this is relevant and help them convert. Okay? Now let's get into troubleshooting. So we're going to cover the three issues that you'll likely face and how you can solve that. So right off the bat, if you're not getting clicks, it might have low ad rank. So your bid might be low and your quality score might be low as well. Your ad may be showing too low on the page or not at all. Okay? So here's the thing. So if your bid is too low and your quality score, which is basically what Google thinks of your landing page, is too low, they're not incentivized to put you at the top of the landing page because you're gonna have a low user experience, right? And so you're gonna lead to a low user experience. And oftentimes the people that are clicking at the bottom of the page are the worst type of traffic. Okay. And so just think about it logically. If someone didn't click on the first three or first four and convert, what makes you think that they're going to close on the last three or the last four? Okay. How are you going to be that much different? Okay. And so you really want to increase your quality score and your bid in order to be on the top of the page. So what you can do is increase your max CPC bid and improve your ad relevance, and that's your landing page quality. That way people are actually want to click on your ad. Okay. And on top of that, like, Google's not incentivized to push bad ads and bad copywriting and bad landing pages on the top of the page, because it's going to screw people over and they're going to stop relying on Google search, right? It just leads to a poor user experience. That's why they might be punishing you and pushing you down the page, just because they don't want to mess up their own traffic. Okay. All right. So the second issue is you might be having overly restrictive keyword match types or keywords in general. For example, if you're targeting the keyword DSCR loans ready to close right now, you're going to have super low search volume, right? So what you want to do is be a little more, yeah, you're looking for high intent, but you have to be keep in mind how many people are actually searching for those keywords, and you can see that in the keyword planner, right? So you want to make sure that people are actually searching for it. At least 500 is what I see work in total in order to get your clicks and leads in the door, right? The last thing you should do is just test long tail broad match keywords, in order to see if that works, if there really is nothing out there. Okay. And then the third thing is you might just have terrible or irrelevant ad copy, right? So if your ad isn't compelling or doesn't match the intent of the people that are searching things, they're just not going to click, just because there's other better options. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure your headline includes keywords and matches the intent of the person that's searching for it, right? So someone searches commercial loans, you want to make sure you have commercial loan somewhere in the headline. Okay, then someone will click. Right now, if you're not getting leads, you're getting clicks but you're not getting leads, that could be a landing page conversion issue, right? So if visitors click but don't convert, that could be due to poor UX design. You have an unclear call to action, or your site loads way too slow, and that's all stuff that you can test. Okay, so what you can do is simplify the page, speed it up, clarify your offer, and test stronger call to actions and different headlines. Okay, and the next thing that you can do is, so the next issue might be a misaligned offer or messaging. So your ad may promise one thing, but the landing page delivers another, right? So for example, if your headline says rates start at 5%, and then on the landing page it says rates start at like 6.5%, right? That's a misaligned offer, and it's going to lead to lower conversion rates, right? Just because what somebody was looking for was for that 5%, not the 6.5%. Okay. And so you just want to make sure that your copy is very congruent with the ads that you're having, and so that they have the right incentive to click and they know what they're getting themselves into. The next thing might be you're just attracting the wrong users who were never likely to convert. So that means that the keywords are just terrible. Okay, so what you can do is review your keyword intent, make sure it's high intent. Take a look at your location targeting, device, and demographic targeting. So the last thing that might happen is you're just getting low quality leads, and that could be due to the broad or low intent keywords that you're targeting. So if you're getting clicks from users in research mode and they're just looking for information, they're not ready to buy and they're not ready to become a lead. So what you should do is use more like commercial intent keywords, like like buy or hire a lender or get qualified, get an application. I'm sorry, this is just comes with living in New York. I hope you can hear me. But, best lenders near me, things of that nature, in order to make sure that, it's higher intent. The next thing might be your lead qualification is terrible. So if you don't have filters, then everyone can submit and it just wastes your sales team's time. So what you want to do is add qualifying fields in order to ask, like, what's their budget? Hey, what's your credit score? What's your timeline for closing? And if it's not where you want them to be, don't even waste your time. Don't make them become a lead, because on top of that, it's going to train your Google. You're going to get bad data coming in, and then Google's going to think these people work when in actuality they don't. So what you want to do is get rid of people that beforehand, so they don't become a lead. Now, lastly, is going to be misleading or vague ads, right? So if ads are too general or clickbait, they will attract the worst of the worst, the worst of the people that just waste your time. Okay, so what you want to do is just avoid like clickbait or ads, because it's going to bring the wrong people. And I see this a lot with non-QM side of things, where people might set like unrealistic expectations, like rates start at like 4% or 5%, which is never going to happen. And then people are going to click because they've never seen a rate that low or whatever. And then they're going to become a lead, and then they're going to be like, hey, I thought it was the rates were this low, and you have to tell them, "Oh, I'm sorry, that was just to get you in the door," um, and then they never convert, and that's because you're getting the unqualified traffic. And it's funny because the people who are qualified, they understand that rates will never be that low. So you're kind of so what you're doing is you're repelling the people that are right for you, and you're attracting the people that are shit. So what you want to do is make sure that you're actually very honest about what you can do, and so you're getting the right people in the door. Okay, so that concludes this video. I hope you got value from this. If you want help, you can book a call. If you want me to do this for you, if you want to buy leads from us, this is what we do. This is our bread and butter. We generate leads. If you want to buy our leads, just book a call below. And yeah, that's it for me. Like, share, comment, subscribe.